All right, guys, I'm not sure how well you can hear me. It's a really windy day today, and we have Journey blasting music down the paddocks right now. But we have finally taken the M3 to VIR. It is my very first time out here. No instructor. This isn't an HPD event. This is a SCCA Track Night in America event. So I could have hired like a coach, I guess, if I wanted to, but I've been wanting to experiment for a while. So I recently bought a sim that I've been practicing on, and I wanted to see how well my sim kind of translates to real life. So the past couple months I've been prepping for a track day, and I've been hitting VIR pretty hard. And so I really have wanted to be able to test to see how close, I guess, the sim is compared to like a real life event, like I guess out here at VIR. I mean, there's no better way than to try it out for yourself. And we're gonna see how important it is to actually have a coach your first time, or if you can get away with learning a track on a sim, which personally I wouldn't recommend it. I feel like I know the track pretty well from what I have taught myself, at least on the sim. We have completely prepped this car for the track since the last time it was on the channel. I think the last time this was on the channel, it was pretty much just like stock, like the way I bought it. So it's still running the BPM Stage 2 tune. It's got a full Valtronic system. That's pretty much all the car had when I bought it. I've done a bunch of work since then to the brakes and suspension. So we are now running brand new control arms in the front. We're also running H&R lowering springs, which I know isn't the best option for track, but it is better than what the factory 130,000 mile springs were. So it'll just have to do for this track event, but I am actively working to try to get coilovers for this car so we can get more adjustment with the alignment. We also actually ended up doing a race alignment on this car, and with the aftermarket springs, we were able to push the front alignment to negative 2.4 degrees camber with the pins pulled out in the front, running 0 toe in the front and negative 1.8 degrees camber in the rear and a 1/16 inch of rear toe. We ended up going down to an 18-inch Apex EC7 wheel. It's a 18x10 and an 1811 rear, and I'm running Goodyear Eagle F1 Supercar 3s. That's a mouthful, but that's what they are. Apparently they're really, really good tires, so we're gonna see if I like them. This is not only my first time driving a car on 200 treadwears, this is also my first time driving a car on like anything that's more extreme than just a street pad. So we're gonna see how these Hawk ER1s do. Shout out to Joey Hutchinson for getting me a good deal on these. So I am running Hawk's new endurance pad, which is the ER1 on the front and the rear, and we paired that with the Motul RBF 600 fluid. I'm excited to see how it is on my first time, and if it truly is a good resource to have a sim at home so you can learn a track. So we'll find out.
it.
Oh, is it up?
Yup. There you go.
Word. Am I good?
There you go.
All right guys, so that pretty much wraps up our track day with the E92 M3. I was in Group B, which is like the intermediate group, and it seemed like the fastest guys out there were running like consistent 210, 211s. Anyways, I ended up running a 214.9. I could have gotten a little bit lower, but I'm gonna kind of replay the footage back. If you look closely on my steering wheel and hard braking, it was like shaking really, really bad. That's not due to warped rotors. I talked to a Hawk representative and I told him that I just put on these Hawk ER1s that were recommended to me, and basically told me that this is just too much car for the pad. The ER1 endurance pad is designed more for like lighter cars, like sub 3,300 pound cars, and this is just a little bit too heavy for it. And with the way I drive, I left foot brake and trail brake quite often, so I got these brakes pretty hot, and it started leaving back some pad deposit. It gave you the same sensation that you would have with a warped rotor. Now, the bad thing with that is that I couldn't go even close to like 6/10 of braking on this. You can kind of see it in the video. I'm kind of holding back a little bit on braking just because I can't really get to the threshold braking point of this car with it shaking that much. I just didn't want to risk it. But the good thing is, from what I heard, just a couple days, maybe a week of driving, and it should be back to normal. This last heat that I did like a 219, a 215, 215, 214, and 215. So super happy with the way that turned out. Like I said, given that my brakes weren't nearly as capable as they could have been if they didn't have all the pad deposit on it. The big question that some of you guys want to know, how important is it to have an instructor? Or if you're looking at the other side of it, how much does this sim help when it comes to tracking? I'd say it helped out a lot. I mean, the beginning of my sim rig ownership, I wanted to do a 2 with 15 on this track before the end of the year. And the fact that I'm able to pull off a 214.9 on my very first track day, like, comes to show you that once you put in the time and effort to actually learn the track and understand like kind of how the track feels out, the braking zones, you can just implement what you learn through the sim and put it into real life, and you get pretty good results. Now, yes, I would have probably been faster if I had like a good instructor, but I wanted to test myself, and I'm not at all mad with the results. We're gonna be able to drive this car home, nothing broke. A complaint that I really have about this car is it keeps picking up rocks in the dust cover in the rears. And I've had that issue multiple times now on the Dragon when I took it to Pocono. But the only way to fix that is to just keep driving the car and hope that the rock comes out. But I appreciate you watching. I understand this is a long video, but this is literally a video that's not only months, but years in the making. I've always wanted to take a car out here in VIR and to be able to take my own E92 M3 out here and not only track it, but prep it properly. Safety is a really big thing for me, not only for me, but all my friends. So I wanted to make sure I did it right. And although we didn't get this car 100%, like I said, with a pad deposit issue, I'm really, really happy, and I'm proud of myself for, you know, pushing myself to go ahead and take the step. So next time we're gonna push for closer to like a 211, 210, and hope we can get out there, and hopefully I got some buddies next time with me to join. So see you guys in the next video. I'm done.